So often we hear, oh, I'm going to manifest this and I'm going to manifest that. It's great to have intention, which is what you were just talking about. But when you let the details evolve and they pop up and you listen and you watch and you follow the prompts,
Mhm.
a lot of magic can happen, right?
Oh, absolutely. And one of the things I'm very big on that I suggest to my YouTube viewers and people that I do on my articles is that when you journal, get your journal out. I like to do it in the morning when it's quiet, when I have my cup of coffee. And you're allowing your inner self to voice what it is we're doing, what it is we're going after. And as I say in my books, it it bypasses your inner critic. I always think of that inner critic as kind of sitting right there going, "Nah, nah, nah." Okay. But you're so busy drinking your coffee, journaling, looking out at the day that your inner critic doesn't get a chance to put in all these negative thoughts. And as you, year after year, you have these journals, if you have a particular problem, you can go back and say, oh, that's how I solved it. Or that was what my thinking is, which I agree with now, or I don't agree with. But it's there for you to have a better feeling for who you are. I've been an actress for 30 years, and I feel that in the last 10 years, the negativity that is projected as to what women 60 and over or 50 and over are like really gets to me. I don't think that I need to be going to auditions wearing white wigs. Most people, if you look around, are not that. They're not at 60 or 50. They're not frail. They're not leaned over. They're not weathered with leather skin. So what do? I get my journal out and I write these things down, and I write what the opposite is that. What is the positiveness of that? And when I get an opportunity to do a self-tape, I present a woman who is vital, who fits into the storyline, but she's not bent over, she's not sick, she's a vital woman. And that comes from understanding the negative messages that are being sent our way, that we are being bombarded with, and how to sit down, sift through it in our journal, and understand the positives of who we are and what we want and what we accomplish on a daily basis. Look at what the Surgeon General just said. We are living in an age of loneliness. We are living in an age of isolation as a society. So what I'm saying here is finding true love after 50 is creating your best life in the age of loneliness. Hi, I'm Joanie Marx. I'm a 3-time international best-selling author and the creator of 3 acclaimed online courses for Udemy.com. And before that, with only $20 and a ball of string, I started a multi-million-dollar consumer product company. I've also enjoyed 3 decades in Hollywood as a character actor, brand spokeswoman, and independent producer. Like millions of others, I too have felt the pain of loneliness, none more so than after the death of my husband, Joe. How did I overcome this? By learning to love myself unconditionally. My new book, Finding True Love After 50, is the culmination of all I've learned about creating your ultimate dream life after 50 through the power of true love. I give this out as an idea to people that we're all storytelling magicians. So if you want a better story in life, then you have to tell yourself a new and better story. You you have to motivate yourself. You have to see the vision, which you then can, change around. Kind of like if you're writing a script, you kind of change the characters up a little bit, but it gives you a goal. It gives
Yes.
you a purpose. It gives you a direction. And as long as you are alive, regardless of your age, if you are here, how lucky that you're alive. Just
Hey,
think, just think about this. In all of history, think about all these famous people. They're all dead, but you and I are alive. This is our time to shine. So become your own storytelling magician. Get your journal out, talk it into a phone, type it on a computer, lay out for yourself what it is you want, how you're going to go about getting it, and how you're going to celebrate the day by day little successes. So, in the refocusing, you have to understand that your life is a journey, but it takes different paths. So, in the refocusing, I think we need to talk about what is it that excites you. And so what I suggest in my seminars is you think about when you were 5 years old. What did you like to do? Because that's the essence of who you really are. What enjoyment did you find from things? What excited you? And if you ask any kid, they will tell you what they want to be when they grow up. It may be fantasiful, but they definitely know what they want to be. So everyone has that joy. So what we need to do is bring that out and see if that's part of how you want to renew your life and change it up and put more pizzazz in it if you're feeling less than enthusiastic. I want to give you a little further idea about how improv is used in acting, but really is how you use it in your everyday life. Because the cardinal rule of improv is that when your partner gives you something, you have to say yes to it. You might go on and make some slight changes, but you never can say no. Because when you just out and out say no to what your partner has just given you, there's no place for the scene to go. It's dead. It's over. So keep that in mind when you're talking to people and they're giving you some stuff and maybe it isn't exactly what you want to do. You could say yes, and maybe we can consider this as well. Is a way that in an improv you do a little twisted turn with the story, but it is still alive and it's collaborative with the person you're working with.
Making friends, seeking out new friends, and being a good friend, it all has its roots in self-worth.
Yes, and that's one of the myths is that we grew up with. If you don't do what your parents said, your teacher said, you weren't good, you weren't worthy. It was like, you're not following the rules. And so promotion of self-worth, I don't think it ever was talked about.
No, that's a fairly new phenomenon.
Yes, and so I think that's better. So I think that the people that will be reading this book that are like your generation, who were raised by my generation,
right,
will see how you got where you are. Some things are better, but a lot of these 7 myths are still there because we raised you because that's what we knew. So this book is a little bit about 3 generations: the grandparents, the parents, and the adult children. But self-worth is huge. Okay, so let's take the myth of aging. Our country is getting older and older, yet we become more and more fearful of aging, and it is not considered a nice thing. You don't ever want to be older. So that begs the question is, when were you ever young? And the answer to that is, I am younger today. You and I are younger today than we will ever be in any of our days to follow.
That's very true. Yes.
So we got to rejoice in the now. Now we are young. Now we are alive. Now's the only time we have. So laughter is a way of just clearing the path so you're not stuck in perfectionism. Because if everything has to be perfect, nobody's going to do anything, because how is it going to ever get to be perfect? It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, I
It's
love that.
not
And you started to
necessary.
use comedy, right? Later in life? You started
What?
to use comedy later in life?
Yeah, I think I'm a good comedy actress. I can make
Yeah,
people
but you
laugh.
didn't do that earlier. So did this kind of open up to you in terms of
Yes.
understanding? Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of what I say in my book are lessons that I've learned from being a professional actress? What are the acting techniques? Because an actor, this is the greatest quote, an actor is creating a character that lives authentically under imaginary circumstances. So you have to be believable, only the circumstances are imaginary, right? They don't exist.
Wow.
You're making this up.
I
So
never thought of it like that. I always thought some actors were confused about who they were because they had to play these different parts. But that is
you
so
fall
interesting.
into them. You say, if I am this person and these are my characteristics, then how do I authentically live that life? Can true love exist in the age of loneliness? Yes, it can. I am living proof that by loving more of yourself, you can create your best life after 50. My new book is my invitation to you to open your heart and allow true love to show you the path to where the life of your dreams lives. As you embrace the true love within you, I extend all my best on your journey to loving yourself after 50.
How can Joanie Marx help you overcome loneliness and live your best life after 50? By ordering Joanie's new book, Finding True Love After 50, subscribing to Joanie's popular YouTube channel, enrolling in Joanie's acclaimed online courses at udemy.com, and subscribing to Joanie's podcast, Finding True Love After 50, on all major podcast platforms. If you host or produce a podcast, arrange an engaging interview with Joanie by emailing her today at joanie@joaniemarx.com.